Hello out there. Welcome, guys. Hope you're all doing well on this wonderful Saturday. I wouldn't say we're 2 hours late. We're more like 2 hours advanced because
Kieran, you had a house inspection. Right?
I did, and I didn't want there to be like I wanted there to be a contingency in case they were late. You know, those sorts of things happen.
But anyway, welcome to episode 31 of the Key Yard podcast.
And unlike many of the other episodes, this one has actually got an official sponsor.
Yes, so we actually have a proper sponsor this week.
So I've paired up with a company called Array Gaming for some shirts. I'll just show you some stuff that they've got. No, that is not what they've got. Okay, maybe I'll just post and you can see for yourself. So if you go to http://arraygaming.com, go there, and the code, if you want to get 10% off, is KeyMerch. So there you go. Many different colors of this shirt. I like this shirt especially because it had the whole heart thing going on with the controller, so it's my heart beats for gaming, as they say. But yeah, cheers, guys. Content will obviously still remain the same. It doesn't affect anything. It just means that it's makes me feel special. That's the only different thing.
It means we can't slag off t-shirt companies anymore. Not that we were doing it previously.
No, it means that I have a risk of someone on Twitter going after my sponsor. So that's about it. So, how have you been, Rob?
I've been all right, mate. It's been a funny week. You know, it's for a lot of people. I guess it's felt a lot longer than your average last couple of weeks. You know, what have I been doing this week? Well, today I've been, up until this point, I'm glad that we started it later because Jay from OSW Review messaged me and said, could I QC the latest OSW Review podcast before I put it out?
All right, okay.
And I spent about 3 hours QCing this episode for Jay. And he was very grateful. He said, you're very thorough. Thank you very much. So, yeah, this next episode that's coming out is going to be a SWS, which is like a 90s Japanese pay-per-view. They're a wrestling podcast, and it's a 90s Japanese pay-per-view featuring Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan in it. Mm-hmm. They're really, really good podcast.
Interesting.
So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Very funny, very nice guys. But Jay, I've QC'd podcasts for Jay before as part of my day job, you know, when I was actually working.
Mm-hmm.
And but next week I'm due to go for a trial, a QC training day type thing next week.
All right, what's that about? For them?
Oh, just to get us back in the swing. No, from my actual company, just for me to get back in the swing of things, I guess, before the shit hits the fan with all the trailer breaks that are coming out and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Actually, speaking of OSW Review, they did a watch-along of Fatal Deviation, which is Ireland's one and only kung fu movie.
Right.
starring Jimmy Bennett, which was filmed in about 1998 in County Trim in Ireland.
Nice.
It's one of the worst movies you'll ever hope to see. They did a review on it, but they also did a watch on for St. Patrick's Day. And we will get into the subjects of movies later because myself and Rosie Droid, aka Laura, we've been making a list of films to watch.
Right. Okay.
Like a really comprehensive list of films that I still haven't seen yet. Like classic films that I really want to catch up on. And we kind of, Laura's been great and she's made this big Google Doc spreadsheet of like ones that are available on Prime, ones that are available on Disney Plus, on Amazon. No, I said Prime, didn't I? Netflix, you know, all that stuff. And turns out there's not that many crossovers in ones that we both. It's mainly me not seeing films, you know.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a film student and I need to desperately catch up with some brilliant films that I still haven't seen yet. So
I got a D in my film studies, and I somehow still managed to get into university.
You got a D in your film studies? I didn't know you did film studies, mate. To be honest,
I did it like in my second year of A levels because I needed to just get some extra points for uni, and so that was just on the table. But speaking of movies and watch-alongs, I have figured out the ins and outs of the watch-along that I said I was going to do for the special time of Easter, which it had to be a movie which involved eggs or bunnies in some sort of way. So we ultimately decided through 2 polls that it would be the original Ridley Scott Alien. I know, Rob, you said that it might be better doing Aliens, but unfortunately, due to unanimous decision, people want to see Alien. So,
I just thought, I don't know. I just thought Aliens would have been a bit more fun to sit through.
yeah,
You know?
and maybe in the future we can...
Aliens. I mean, James Cameron, his movies are very kind of they're action orientated.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of Terminator 2, for example. It's a
Yeah.
fun. If you and whereas like Alien has that more horror element to it, and it's not that it's very tense.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what I'll say,
but I do agree it's a good film.
Yeah. So basically, where is it? Always happens, doesn't this? Which Discord channel have I put it in? That's the question.
Probably, I imagine your own. But whilst you're looking for that, also on the subject of eggs, my sister did come home today from her walk with a white chocolate Oreo Easter egg, which is the bloody bee's knees. And unfortunately, I did drop it on the stairs because it was so hollow and it was so stiff. I was like trying to punch it to break the chocolate, and it wouldn't happen. And it took me running down the stairs with it, fucking just dropping it, and it just flying everywhere.
Bazooka that shit. Yeah. So basically,
and it's not even Easter. I know she just said because it's a club card thing and they're quite cheap in Tesco at the moment. She'd give me one, so that's very nice of her.
Thanks, Rosie. But I've got the post up on you from my post on YouTube. So the final date for this watch along is going to be on the 1st of April at 7 p.m. GMT. Good time to allow for 2 hours for people to get home and get their drinks out. Absolute fun stuff. It is obviously going to be an 18 plus for the content of the movie itself, plus that it is a drinking game. I would rather not encourage young people to drink. That's got to be responsible with that sort of stuff.
We don't condone alcoholism unless it's in the middle of a global pandemic.
Exactly.
In which case,
or not. I don't know.
In which case, go nuts.
Yes. So. Yeah, obviously not on April Fool's because I'm announcing it today. You can only make April Fool's jokes on the day, so it's just coincidence. But it also means I got bank holiday the next day because it's Good Friday, so that's a perfect time to do it. So the rules, as we should say. So you got to drink 1 finger every time anyone dies. There's a loud scream, or a countdown begins or ends. 2 fingers if a minute passes without any dialogue, so be sure to count when you're in the chat.
Oh my God, really?
You see the alien. I'll make sure I'm active on it as well until I pass out. I don't know. I can't do that. I'll get banned, obviously. You see the alien, or you hear someone say the company, and 3 fingers every time the alien is born. So those are the rules. Have at it. Anyone who doesn't want to drink, feel free to bring some Iron Brew in if you're Scottish or I don't know whatever nationality you are.
It's funny. I looked on Drinkwhen, the drinkwhen.ca website, which we used for.
I think that's what I used.
Last drink. I think it was either the Die Hard drinking. No, it wasn't a Die Hard drinking game. It was like the Sharknado. One of them, I think.
Sharknado.
But yeah, for this one, it's if you don't like those rules. And you want to play by your own rules, we've got anytime anyone says the word mother, anytime anyone says ash, anytime someone dies, someone's smoking on the ship, you see the outside the ship, the alien's teeth are shown, and you see Jonesy the cat.
Why not both?
And I mean, it's pretty much quite a apropos quote below this, which is from Ash during the movie. I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies.
All right. Okay. To make it interesting, let's add those rules in. All right. So,
you don't have to. I'm just trying to.
I want to make it.
This is hardcore. rules, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll be strategic for it. But there we go.
But look, yeah, looking forward to that. And is that going to take place on here, this channel?
Yeah, it's going to take place absolutely here. And maybe what I'll do like a condensed version for YouTube, so I can like highlight the best bits and things. And then maybe some clips for TikTok or here as well. So that's what I like to do these days. I like to kind of like promote my stuff here and there, and bring everybody together. It seems to be working so far. That I think when I ranted about Mrs. Turner from Fairly Odd Parents in the Mother's Day video, that actually got viral on TikTok. And one person said, "Oh, Mrs. Turner isn't as bad as you think because she's not malicious to her son." I'm like, "Oh, so because she's not malicious, but she is negligent, she's not that bad." Come on now. That just doesn't make sense. So there's that. What else have we got?
Well, I'll give you a quick run through just on the subject of movies about what films me and Laura have down. So I'll go through these really quickly, like a speed run of film. All these films basically I haven't seen, and some of these Laura has seen, but all of these films I haven't seen, right? And I'll say the name, and then you let me know whether you've seen it and if it's any good or not.
Okay.
The Irishman.
Never seen it.
No, Scorsese, really long, so lead up to that. Can be interesting. Uncut Gems.
Is that the one with Adam Sandler?
Adam Sandler, yeah, and it's like
I've seen the trailer and I've been meaning to watch it, but every time me and Katie go down to sit down to watch something, and I say Uncut Gems, we've always got it saved there, but she's like, I don't feel like this one tonight. I'm like, It's the same with Kingsman and Law Abiding Citizen. I'm like,
the only thing I know about it,
films, but I really want to watch
the only thing I know about it is that what people constantly tell me is it's like one of the most tense movies you'll ever watch.
Yeah,
and it's I believe it is currently 4th place in the list of films that say the word fuck the most.
Is Twin Town one of them?
I don't know.
I know Pulp Fiction is one of them, but I'm sure Twin Town is as well. Which actually I'll have to do. That's what I should have done for St. David's Day was do a watch along for Twin Town.
Yeah,
but maybe next year for St. David's Day I'll do that.
I don't know what Twin Town is. Is that a Welsh film?
Yeah, it's got Rhys Ifans in it.
Every Welsh film has Rhys Ifans in it. Come on, let's face it.
And I think it's pretty much just like I don't know, a Welsh Pulp Fiction in a sense.
Is it directed by Keith Allen's brother?
I do not know.
Yeah, hang on.
But it's got. Have you ever watched Gavin and Stacey?
No.
For anyone who has watched Gavin and Stacey.
Sorry. I was well off there. Yeah, I have watched Gavin and Stacey.
You remember the vicar in that who was like something is like this is like bread, blah blah blah. You know that actor? He's in it. A lot of actors that I saw in Welsh TV shows in school are in it.
Nice.
It's a 90s film.
Yes, 1997. It is directed by Kevin Allen. Yeah, that's what I thought because there's a couple of people I know who actually have a part in his next film.
Really?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, I don't know if they're actually going to be in it, but it's going to be called. Let's see. Is it going to be called? I think it's going to be called Tin Town. It's either Tin Town or La Cha Cha. I'm not sure which one it is, but the few people I know that actually have a part in it. So only as extras, you know.
Is it loads of people trying to find a brain?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, Scarface.
I've seen the famous clip, but not a whole.
It's one of those films that everyone knows that scene from Scarface, but I just don't. I don't know anything else about it other than it's Al Pacino and it's a remake of the 1930.
I do love Al Pacino though. I think he's terrific.
I haven't seen nearly enough Al Pacino films. Godfather 2 is also on here, I believe, and I've seen the first Godfather, but I haven't seen the second one. I've heard the second one's actually even better in the eyes of a lot of people.
From what I've seen, like in the whole array of sequels like Terminator 2, Godfather 2, it hails as one of the best, if not the best, in terms of popularity, sequels of all time.
Yeah. Spirited Away.
I haven't. I haven't really delved that much into Studio Ghibli films in general. So
I've only seen Howl's Moving Castle.
yeah, I
terms
remember
of
that being
Studio Ghibli
advertised
films.
heavily when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I've,
I watched that as part of my degree at uni.
yeah.
But other than that, I haven't really delved into it either.
The only the featured Japanese anime film I've seen is Akira.
Oh, I need to see that. In fact, I'm not sure if that's even on my list, but
Put it on it.
Laura, I wouldn't mind adding Akira to that list if you're listening.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
That is one I do want to see. Into the Wild.
Haven't seen it.
It's the film that Eddie Vedder does a soundtrack of about a guy who goes based on a real story of a guy who went missing in the Arctic.
Oh, right.
Or went to live in the wild in the Arctic, or Alaska or something like that. And yeah, interesting sounding film. Beautiful Mind.
Haven't seen it. Heard a lot about it. I remember when I was in school that my teacher had like a playlist that she'd always put on, and the theme for A Beautiful Mind would always be on that playlist. So I'd hear that so many times.
Yeah. What else do we have here?
I was like, put some Linkin Park on for fuck's sake.
Let's see now. Nightcrawler.
Seen that, really good.
Is it really good? I love Jake. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal as an actor as well.
He just comes off as like in this film. How do I describe it? Like he has such a range in this role, I think, to work with, and I think that it really does him justice in this film. It's sort of that sort of more morals about versus money above all else sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good for that.
Yeah, that's intriguing. I need to watch more Jake Gyllenhaal stuff. There's a few on here. I think that I have Source Code on here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, there's a lot. I might not get through all of these, but I want to highlight Room.
No.
Hi Mark. No, not that one. Room with Brie Larson.
I don't know
If you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
Mm.
Have you seen?
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I could give you ones I can add to the list, like The Platform. Very good psychological horror.
No.
It's a French film that's dubbed in English, but don't let that put you off. It's.
Oh no, mate! I'm all like La Haine is one of my favorite films.
Yeah, basically, there's this sort of prison area where you're put on a platform, like I think it's like 1 to 100 or even more than that, and every month you get changed to either a floor above or below, and it's better if you're on a floor above, because I think twice a day this range of food comes down on a massive plank, and it gets taken by the people by the top, so it means the lower on the floor you are, there's going to be less food on there, so there's going to be a point where there is nothing for people to eat. So it, the sort of themes in it, that sort of like that message of the symbolism of class and things in society it plays a really big theme in that.
Oh, interesting. I got 12 Years a Slave down here as well.
Haven't got that. I've seen the SNL parody of it, but that's about it.
Born Identity, which I can't believe I still haven't seen yet.
Only the meme. I haven't actually seen it, but I remember just that meme where it's like someone does some stupid parkour and that guy goes, Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, like not all of these films are like super new, I just feel like I've honestly, like, I've been meaning, if there was ever a time to catch up on films, it was during lockdown, but I just found myself so much more engrossed in music and Twitch and everything else. I just haven't had time,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I couldn't be bothered. So hence why we're doing this. But Fury.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah, because I love my war films, World War II films as well. And I really like Brad Pitt as an actor as well. So
yeah,
again, I can't believe I haven't seen that. Warrior.
Oh, the one with Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic film.
And also, we have. I think I put Bronson on here as well. Bronson and Legend. I need to watch more Tom Hardy films.
I haven't seen Bronson. I've seen Legend, but they're both Legend and Warrior. Yeah, must watches.
Have you seen Warrior then?
Yeah, I think my only is I don't know if I can call it a complaint, but the MMA fighting in it is kind of dramatized for movies. Like you wouldn't see an MMA fight like that in real life.
Is Tom
The way it
Hardy
is.
basically playing Conor McGregor?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Because he kind of looks like him, I
Yeah,
think.
but
If there were ever to be a movie about Conor McGregor's life, I feel like Tom Hardy could do worse than have Tom Hardy portray him.
no, Tom Hardy's quite quiet in the film. It's like his actions speak louder than his words. Whereas
He's
Conor
quiet in
McGregor,
it. The thing that he's like that in most films that he's in.
yeah, and
I
as
would say.
Murray Man said, Kurt Angle's in it as well. He plays this Russian MMA fighter.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Have you ever seen The Gift
The
with
Gift.
Jason Statham?
I know the Siva song, The Gift.
The one with Jason Statham, and the guy in that is the brother of Tom Hardy's character.
Oh, so it's like the same universe.
No. I mean, sorry, the actor
Oh,
plays
the
his
actor.
brother.
Sorry. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely give it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jason Statham films. I think I've had my fill of the good ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Benjamin Button.
Haven't seen it.
Again, Brad Pitt. Can't believe I haven't seen it yet. And I know, heard it's good.
I've
Princess Mononoke.
Another Ghibli film. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to mention that actually in terms of Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away. So that's another one. I think Ponyo's a Studio Ghibli film as well, isn't it?
Probably. I don't know that much about Studio Ghibli, but whatever you say. Hurt Locker.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah.
We sound like such noobs in this podcast.
No, mate. Honestly, that's what this is here for. I don't know. I think Marriage Story, Woman in Black, and The Equalizer are all
Woman in Black. I've seen Woman in Black, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. I think
I'm not really a big horror films guy. That's the thing.
It's I would say it's hardly scary, to be honest. It's
I think my sister saw it and she was like super scared when she saw it, but I don't know. And then John Wick. I think I've seen John Wick 3. Actually,
I haven't seen any of them.
I thought I watched it on a plane. John Wick. I can't remember if it was the second. I think it was the second one actually that I watched on the plane. I thought it was just nonsense, and I know a lot of people are going to come after me for saying that, but I just thought it was absolute nonsense. But then again, I saw Mad Max Fury Road on a plane as well, and I didn't think that was all that either. It's funny, isn't it, how the conditions you're watching it in might impact your enjoyment of the film as well. You know?
I don't know. I just remember seeing Mad Max Fury Road, and it was the part where he's like on the front of the front of that vehicle, tied up in the sandstorm. And that scene kind of went on for ages, but I'll have to give it a proper watch. What was I?
The Martian. Didn't we mention The Martian earlier?
No, I haven't seen it, but I should definitely see it.
Yeah, I think so as well. Funnily, it won best like comedy drama or something weird, even though it's like not a comedy.
I remember it was around during that time of the Matt Damon "Save Me" memes. You know, when people realized that Matt Damon is always plays the character that has to be saved in movies. You know, like every movie Sean Bean dies. Every movie Ben Kingsley is like revealed as the villain.
I can only think of Saving Private Ryan where he needs to be saved.
Saving Private Ryan. Maybe not.
You're probably right. I'm just trying to. In the Departed, he's the bad guy, so he hardly needs saving. But
Owen Wilson is surprised by everything. One movie I could recommend for you is one called Chappie. Have you ever seen that?
Oh no, I haven't. No, that's the one with the ant word in, right?
Yeah, it's got and it's got the guy who played, I think his name's Antoine from Skins,
Yeah.
and Hugh
Same.
Jackman.
Neil Blomkamp, isn't it? It's the guy who directed District 9, which I also haven't seen. And I
Yeah,
believe is on this list. So
yeah, it's a very emotional film, I'd find. So yeah,
yeah.
definitely good watch.
Got Prisoners as well. Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, I believe.
Hmm.
Still haven't
Prisoners,
seen
yeah,
it.
that's on my list as well.
Mm.
Wow,
Super 8,
haven't seen that.
Spielberg. Silence of the Lambs.
I haven't seen the full film. I've just seen clips, but we did watch Red Dragon the other day, which is based on the first book. So, like, I think the order of the books is Red Dragon, then Silence of the Lambs, but the movie flips them.
Yeah. I'll go through the ones on Prime and Disney Plus, and then I think you'll get the idea. I've got a lot of ones to go through, you know.
Ray Fiennes was great in Red Dragon, though. I thought that was one of the
Yeah, Red Dragon is that I did because Edward Norton's in it as well, and I really
Edward
like
Norton.
Edward Norton.
But I just found, like, as much as I love Anthony Hopkins and his portrayal of Hannibal, I think for me, Ray Fiennes was the one who stole the show in that film. Like, he was just brilliant.
Turning back your back on your fellow countryman, saying that.
Well, I'm Welsh and English, as we discovered, so Ray Fiennes is okay for that.
Yeah, you're not actually. He's not actually Welsh. I should change this command.
He's not actually Welsh.
Yeah. Yes, KB is Welsh, but actually not really. Blade.
Yeah.
So Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. I've still not seen somehow.
Classics.
Yeah. Have you seen both of them?
I've seen a bit of the first one, but 2049, yeah. I don't know. I couldn't really get into the length of 2049.
Is it quite long? Is it?
It's very long. It's over 3 hours, I think.
Oh, really?
But Blade Runner does like to flesh things out a lot.
Yeah, I imagine so. The Revenant.
The Revenant. I think
It's the one that Leo won that won his Oscar.
Yeah,
for.
I tried to watch it one time, but I did get very bored. So I think I need to have a bit of patience when watching it again.
Argo.
Haven't seen that.
That's a Ben Affleck vehicle.
Okay.
Unforgiven.
Haven't seen that.
It's a Western with Gene Hackman, Clint Eastwood.
That one. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
From the 90s or 80s, late 80s.
Yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth.
I've only seen the part with that eye monster.
Yeah. It's good to know that like you also haven't seen a lot of these films. I had so much catching up to do with some of these, you know. Legend, like we mentioned earlier. Gangs of New York.
Seen that. I love that film. Daniel Day-Lewis, one of my favorite actors of all time.
It's Scorsese as well, so like I really like Scorsese.
See, I've played more Red Dead Online these days, and it just reminds me, Gangs of New York just sort of reminds me of that time period.
Awesome. Mention source code. Gran Torino.
Yeah, fantastic as well.
Foxcatcher.
Haven't seen that.
Which again is based around wrestling, but like collegiate wrestling. And Mark Ruffalo, Channing Tatum, and Steve Carell.
Have you seen The Wrestler?
I have, yeah. It's really good, but it's really depressing.
Yeah.
Don't watch it if you're in a bad mood because you'll just sink even lower. But it's a beautiful film. Do
you think he would have gone to those lengths if WWE gave him a contract?
What do you mean? What Mickey Rourke
his character? I mean, he's Randy the Ram.
Yeah,
it's steroids in his butt.
You can definitely tell what wrestlers he was. The character of Randy the Ram was kind of based on. You know, your Jake Roberts and your Scott Halls and stuff.
Yeah.
Who we have there? Bronson I mentioned earlier. The Creed 2.
I've seen the first Creed, but
I haven't seen either Creed. To be fair, that must have been a late edition. But I haven't seen Creed 1 either, Laura. So,
I've only been spoiled the ending of Creed 2, but on that ending, I do want to watch the full film because it is a good callback to Rocky 4. That's the one with the Russian guy, isn't it? I must break you.
I must break you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ivan Drago. That's the one.
Ivan Drago. Yeah. So Disney Plus. We've only got a few things on Disney Plus. But I haven't seen Tangled.
Neither have I.
I kind of want to see that. And the ones that we are going to watch this weekend, well, tomorrow, hopefully, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Mm.
Still haven't seen them.
I was put off when Last Jedi first came out, and then I was also put off by Rise of Skywalker. But I think I need to experience it for myself to form my own opinion.
I've honestly heard so many conflicting things about these two films. I've heard, on the one hand, people going, these films have ruined the franchise. You know what I mean? But I've heard other people going, these are some of the best films that
I think it's a bit of a stretch to
franchise
say
has
it's ruined the franchise. It doesn't make the franchise any more shit. Like, I'm not saying it's shit, but you know what I mean.
Careful,
Like,
careful. We have Rosie droid in the chat.
hey,
Watch your words.
I'm playing I'm playing Fallen Order at the moment, so I love Star Wars.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought Force Awakens was kind of meh.
Yeah,
Personally, I really like Rogue One. You know,
I liked Force Awakens. I thought it was a nice sort of adventure callback to like A New Hope and things like that.
yeah.
The Last Jedi, I think, from what I've seen, it seemed like that's where it started to go in a completely different ideology to what Star Wars kind of represents.
That's the problem that people seem to have with it.
Yeah,
Is it right?
yeah.
Okay.
But that's where the Mandalorian comes in to fix things.
And actually, there's a whole bunch of films around about, but I can go quickly through the films that Laura owns, but I haven't seen.
Okay.
So like Tenet.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? You saw Tenet when it came out last
yeah,
year?
I'm pretty sure I always mention it when people ask, "What was the last film you saw in the cinema?" Blah blah blah.
For me, it was Parasite, I believe.
Oh yeah. Because that won an award last year, didn't it, at the Oscars?
Yeah, well, it won Best Picture Oscar, and I wanted to see what the fuss was about.
Yeah.
And it was okay, you know, it was perfectly okay. It was probably better than okay. It was good. It was solid, but I didn't think it was brilliant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I just was. I don't know. I might need to watch it again. What about you? What was the last film you saw? Was that Tenet?
What, in the cinema?
Yeah.
Tenet.
Yeah, Tenet. Yeah. I've heard it's kind of complicated, Tenet. You know, it's very hard to follow.
As is most Christopher Nolan films, to be fair.
Fair dues.
The funny thing is, like, he helped write Man of Steel, didn't he? And then you can see from the dialogue of the characters in that film, you can tell it has a Christopher Nolan influence.
Really?
Because it's
again, well, I'm terrible with DC as well. I don't think I've watched a single one of the new DC films because I've watched all the Marvel films, and loads of people were telling me that only Wonder Woman is worth watching.
Yeah, that's. I haven't seen Wonder Woman, but that is what I've heard.
Speaking of which, we have Wonder Woman 1984 on here as well. But I haven't seen the first Wonder Woman either, so it probably makes sense to watch two of them in a block, you know?
Yeah, I haven't heard good things about Wonder Woman 1984. That's the only thing.
No, I haven't either. I've heard very mixed things about it indeed. Wolf of Wall Street, which is really up there.
Yeah, love it. Love the
for
film.
one that I haven't seen, but I need to see. You know,
it's just
that
crazy,
I think it's that and Whiplash that are the two films I want to watch the most.
That would probably go down as one of my favorite films of all time. Whiplash. It's that good for me.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know why I keep putting it off so much. I don't know.
I think the thing is, for that film, even though you see a lot of clips on YouTube of it and it referenced a lot in like top 10s and things, I don't think those clips really tell you the whole story of the full film. You really need to watch the entire film to get the sense of the emotions that drive the film, and
Yeah.
the character of can't remember his name, the drummer guy, just how it plays through, and the motivation behind J.K. Simmons's character.
Yeah, totally want to watch Whiplash. I've heard so many good things about it.
Yeah.
As I have Wolf of Wall Street, although I've heard that's quite long as well. I don't know.
It is, but it is really fun. Like, I think time does pass by quite quick when you watch it. So, the pacing is really good in it.
That's good. That's good. It doesn't feel long then, is what
No.
you're saying.
Yeah.
That is good. And finally, we'll wrap this up because the films on the rent to buy list is even longer, and there's so many on there.
Yeah.
Blade Runner. Yeah, I've said Blade Runner, the original, and Baby Driver.
Yes. This is why this was the film that made me remember when we were talking about our favorite directors, that Edgar Wright popped into my head, because not only have I seen like the Cornetto trilogy and Scott Pilgrim, but the Baby Driver shows even more of his talent, and the his art of scene transitions, of how Edgar Wright has this unnatural skill of being able to tell a story in just a matter of seconds. It's like it is insane how he manages to do that.
Can you imagine how Ant-Man would have been under his direction?
It would just be like press button, quick change.
Well, he was originally slated to do Ant-Man, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think so. Yeah, or was it Doctor Strange? Yeah, it was. I apparently so Edgar Wright. I think it says on Wikipedia that they were working on a treatment for it for like years and years and years, and then by the time it came to shooting the thing, I think they kind of he had like a last minute exit.
I mean, I can see from when that what's his name has those flashbacks where he just like talks really quick and has the flashbacks. Edgar Wright would have been perfect for those. But I think the way they did them in the film was great. Anyway, I think Ant-Man is probably still one of my favorite MCU films, and like I think just the way it goes, and I love the comedy in it and things.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, we could do a whole separate podcast on the Marvel films and which one.
And the second film is just as good for me as well.
I think so as well. I really like honestly, I like them the more cartoonish kind, the more kind of the ones that have an element of humor in, and not just full bore serious.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the problem I had.
So like for Ragnarok, I love as well.
Yeah, I think that
because it's so off the wall.
Hello, Kieran. How's it going? Thank you for the raid. We're just talking about lists. The list of films that Rob needs to watch. So you come just at the right time as we're wrapping up. But
as we're finishing it, yeah.
But we've got what was I saying about Thor? Wasn't it Thor Ragnarok? Yeah, I think the Thor films really needed to change up, because I think the original Thor film was okay. I don't think it was anything special. Thor: The Dark World is usually regarded as one of the weaker MCU films, and then Ragnarok came in and just made it more colourful and more fun, and breathed more life into Thor as a character.
Have you seen Jojo Rabbit yet?
No.
Oh, mate, if you like, it's the same director as for Ragnarok, Taika Waititi.
Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's very good indeed.
Nice. I think
because it's just so he's got his own kind of idiosyncratic directing style, which is very, he treats the kind of serious and comedic, he treats those kind of imposters just the same way, really, in his own kind of style, and forges out a very unique film as a result. Because it's a very sensitive topic, obviously, Nazi Germany and Hitler and everything, but he somehow makes it like a lot. That kind of contrast and dichotomy between the severity of the situation, but through the eyes of this child, and his imaginary friend is Hitler.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's a very interesting kind of compromise.
All right. I'll have to give it a watch. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one I've given for you anyway.
Okay.
So I think we're delaying the inevitable here. Tottenham Hotspur, Kieran. What the hell is going on?
Sorry, I'm just having a traumatic flashback. How do I start this? The
I don't
question
know,
is,
mate.
how do I start this?
Well, let's start
let me start with my notes. Fuck these. I've got. Well, okay. Why don't we start with the,
North London Derby. Let's start where we left off, I think, with the North London Derby, right?
What did we say last week? You were like, oh, you're going to smash us. And what was my opinion? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I do not regret saying that whatsoever because I know my team. I know my team don't like to play well. They just don't. They don't. They hate playing well. They're like, oh, do I have to work again? I mean, I could live off this 100 grand a week. Why am I playing football for?
I will say, what didn't help, I mean, a few factors didn't help you that day. The fact that Son went off injured really early.
Yeah, but then Lamella scored.
But then Lamella scored. What I will admit, that was a very, very good goal by Lamella.
Oh, it's gone down as like one of the best goals of the season, just for that.
Yeah, of the season, certainly. There's people that were fucking going overboard at halftime saying it was the greatest goal they've ever seen, and I'm like, really? Do me a favor,
People. The weird thing is, people tend to rule out like any European goals, like ones scored in the Europa League or things like that, like Harry Winks' goal. I think that was probably my goal of the season, just how fluky it was, but just insane. But it doesn't excuse the quality he's bringing into the team, which is none.
Do you not like Lamella?
Oh no, sorry, I meant Harry Winks.
Harry Winks, right?
No,
sorry.
Lamella.
It was a bit stupid.
It was stupid,
but elbowing Tierney in the face, and you could see Mourinho's reaction.
Yeah,
like, what the hell has he done there?
You can see him as this kind of character who he's got that kind of Sergio Ramos kind of style to him, isn't he? He plays dirty and hopes that he gets away with it, but it's only a matter of time until the ref does see something and sends him off for it. Something which people will say Harry Kane still has yet to be sent off for. with his
shots. mate. In all honesty, right? What the hell with that ramming into Gabriel like that?
I mean,
and getting away with it. Like, it's just, he wasn't even going anywhere near the ball as far as I'm concerned. And you can say, the penalty, we can say it was contentious, I guess, and.
But the problem was he had his boot right up in the air, didn't he?
He had it up, and Lacazette had already got his shot off. So maybe, playing devil's advocate, you could argue that he'd already got his shot off and whatever. But I don't know.
It is
Harry Kane. That was just like, he literally just barged into Gabriel. I don't think there was much of an excuse to that. Maybe he was getting flustered. I don't know. I mean, he had that free kick right at the very end, which came off the post.
Mm-hmm. That was the thing. There was a lot of missed opportunities in that game. But I could see.
I'll tell you what. If Emil Smith Rowe had scored that chance in the first half, crossbar, I would have lost my shit.
I was like, phew, when that happened. But I could see right at the start of the game, you had us cornered. Like, you had most of the possession. You had so many opportunities, and you were that closer and closer to getting an opportunity, and then. Yeah, we had that adaptive, thinking to go, well, we need to push back now because they are getting closer and closer. Which, fair play, that connection to get it to the forwards really helped off, and Lamella was in a good place to score, so that's great. But then that was the curse, wasn't it? That still, I say it time and time again. For some reason, Tottenham think that once they have the lead, they then have the freedom to play it safe, which is never the case in football. Never. No. You never know what's going to happen, so be prepared for the worst.
Well, I could go on all day about our playing from the back initiative, and that with the gamble of dropping Aubameyang, who is our club captain, for being late. inexplicably paid off. And I don't know whether that was just dumb luck or or Arteta genuinely making a good tactical decision there.
Either that, or maybe if he was on, maybe I don't know, maybe he would have scored 3-1 or
I
something.
mean, don't worry, we'll get to the second the Olympiacos game where we almost blew it, and Aubameyang can't. For some reason he's incapable of hitting a barn door at the moment, and Martinelli came on for the last 10 minutes of that game and just completely showed him up in every single way, and it's begging the question, why is he not even getting a look in at the moment?
Yeah, well, you think you have it bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we won that. It's fair to say we won the North London derby fair and square.
I would agree with that.
Shall we? Do you want to talk about Zagreb, or is it too painful?
Fuck it. I need to get it off my chest because I have been, look, people have said
You've been saving it. You've been saving it for this moment.
People have said things for so long about that team. First, I want to give credit to Dinamo Zagreb. They played with their hearts in hand, and they took the ball and they ran with it. Yeah, and
the 3 goals that Orsic scored were all fantastic efforts.
Brilliant, yeah. But all we had to do was score a goal. That was all we fucking had to do. Why? There were times and the biggest question for me is, does Jose trust some of the players who should be playing? Like, Kane had already played a London derby. He'd been playing in a previous match before that. Why is he starting in this game? Why is he not getting some rest for the next game? If you want to focus on getting into the next year's Europa League, then you need to rest your players so that you have the consistency for the Premier League as well. You can't just go, I'm going to focus on the Europa League only. Let's just run with it, because you're just going to use up your chances to be able to advance further in the Premier League if you do that. And then now Kane's going to be too tired against Aston Villa. And Aston Villa have proven to be a team this year that can just surprise you because they've got the quality of Jack Grealish and other players on their team. And it just goes to show. And then, for some reason, Mourinho, when we're at a loss, he tends to do this weird thing at half-time where he subs the attack players to bring more defender players on. And it's like...
That's his negative approach coming through. It's always been plaguing him throughout his entire career.
How does that benefit making a comeback? It doesn't offer us any more attack options at all. So, and then the problem is that it seemed to be this game where they had the mentality of, we've got a 2-0 lead already, let's just play it casually. And you can't do that when you have Winks and Sissoko in that midfield. You just can't.
I said, we were 3-1 up against Olympiacos, and I just knew we would let in a goal and panic, And if Aubameyang starts against West Ham tomorrow, I will be absolutely flabbergasted. Because he's done nothing recently to deserve his starting place. I'm with you on the Harry. It's a similar Harry Kane situation. Like, Lacazette and Martinelli should be the front two. Where's Nketiah gone as well? Like, what's happened to him?
Like,
it's a leaving players out situation. I just don't understand, really.
Son's out, but there's a reason we bought loads of players in the summer. There's a reason that we got more players in, so we can use them. It sounds like a fucking weird idea, doesn't it, to use players? But the other thing now is, like, who is mostly to blame? Like, I don't want to solely blame the manager. I don't want to solely blame the players. I don't want to solely blame the board or, anything else. I think they share equal blame. I've seen players comment on the fact that they don't agree with Mourinho's methods. To that, I say, if you want to play for a club and win with a manager that has been well esteemed in his career, then suck it up. Instead of just going, I'm not getting enough games. I'm just gonna think about moving to another club. Well, to do that, you're going to have to play well first to begin with. That's why Harry Kane is probably going to go for a much larger price tag than someone like Winks, who would probably just go for 10 million. You know, you're not doing yourself any favors. Just, don't follow in Danny Rose's footsteps. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, my favorite thing in the week, I must admit, was Jermaine Genius's tweet.
Yeah.
With like all these Arsenal fans coming after me after the North London derby. Come back when, the Europa League final happens. Or something along those lines. I must admit, that did make me laugh.
But I am absolutely like, I'm just
You're done.
I just don't want to watch them for the rest of the season. Even if they win another match or something like that, I'm just like, I'm not that bothered, if I'm honest.
It's funny, isn't it? I don't think anyone has been truly, with the exception of Man City fans, who I can't see any reason for them to complain about the season they've had.
Oh, no.
I think every single club in the Premier League at the moment has had their gripes.
Yeah.
From Chelsea getting rid of Lampard so early, they're on the roll now with Tuchel, but they were like completely bemused and angry about the fact that Lampard got sacked so early. Tottenham, obviously, we've obviously got our problems. Newcastle fans, they mentioned earlier in the chat, at least you guys don't have Steve Bruce. Liverpool, what's going on with Liverpool? It's like no one's satisfied with any of their teams this season.
The thing is, I can't, like in Liverpool's case, I don't think that if people ever tweet Klopp out for Liverpool's case, I think they're a bunch of morons.
You think he should stay? Yeah.
Because Klopp he has taken Liverpool to 2 Champions League finals. He's got them to win the league, and you're just going to bin him off because the team isn't playing as well.
And Liverpool, in fairness, playing devil's advocate, they've had some massive injuries this season.
As Simi
all in the same position.
Yeah, as Simi said then, like the team is
fatigued.
We had that excuse last season when Kane was injured, Son was injured, Bergwijn eventually got injured, because we came back and we did have a strong return at the end of the season. But I don't think there is any excuse for it now. It's little to no excuse.
It's funny, KB. Like, this is the one season that we've had in about 15 years when none of our major players have been injured.
No.
Touch wood, obviously.
I mean,
because it's probably going to happen tomorrow. But like, with the exception of Martinelli, who was out for a long time, right? We have had most of our players fully fit and fighting, and we still just cannot pull the results out when we need it most, and I mean, with the exception of this past week, which has been probably the best week I've had all season as an Arsenal fan. And that's not saying much, considering some of the appalling results we've had over the entire course. I mean, the Burnley result and the individual errors that we're making, there's no excuse for it, and I've accepted the fact that we've got Slavia Prague next round, Europa League. And if we get through them, which, I mean, we could crumble at any moment, I'm just basically holding on to anything I've got, really. And I've got, at the moment, it's Schadenfreude. I'm just, even if we get through that, which I've got like no hopes with this fucking shower, we've then got either Villarreal or Zagreb. Zagreb obviously having knocked you out, and Villarreal being managed by Emery, who is the king of winning the Europa League, except with us, of course.
To be honest, I don't think Arsenal can play as bad as we did against Zagreb. I know that sounds impossible to believe, but I don't think you can get a much worse performance than that. Even Lloris after the game, which you can tell after what he said, that there is. He's probably going to leave in the summer to go to PSG without doubt. Or maybe with some doubt, I don't know. But I mean, he said that it was an embarrassing performance. He was just completely embarrassed, and I think there's not enough accountability taken from these players because like I said, if they would rather go, I want to get more games elsewhere, then fuck off then.
No, I feel the exact same way about some of the mercenaries that have played for us over the years.
It's like that's why I'm just less motivated to watch every upcoming match, because it's just tiring. and I was more focused on just like video editing last Sunday, to be honest. Like I skimmed through like a bit of the Arsenal match, and then I watched more of the highlights, and yeah, it was just it's
I mean,
just
for us,
painful.
my dad was saying about after the second Olympiacos result, he's like, I've never seen a more abject performance from us
Yeah,
this season, and
lucky to win it at
and
least.
given how the boundless amount of bad results that we've had this season,
Mm.
that's quite something to say that this was our worst performance, and Aubameyang just not being able to hit a barn door with a banjo,
Yeah, I think
it's worrying. It's really worrying.
personally, I think Tottenham have got one or two options. Either, in terms of the manager, if there is this rift between the players and the manager, then maybe not to say Jose is a bad manager or anything, but maybe they do need someone with better chemistry with the players. And I know that Nagelsmann is apparently the top candidate at the moment, RB Leipzig's manager, to get that position. And he's apparently said that he's keen to work in London. So if that happens, I mean, he's a young manager, so he's going to have a modern style of play, and he's gotten he's if you look at his track record, it is really impressive, and Danny Olmo, I think, is one of the players that he bought for RB Leipzig, and they've been doing pretty well. So for the kind of budget they have, I think he's been doing pretty well with them. So I think in terms of players wanting to work with him, I think there would be no problem with that. And he seems to be quite a charming guy as well. And I think that's what makes Klopp so likable. And I think, that sort of relationship with the players is something we need. Then the other option is get players who can work with Mourinho. Get your Højbjergs and your Harry Kanes and your Sons. More of those kinds of players, not these ones that will have like a once in a while miracle to pull in a game and then just go back to being shit. And when I saw in the documentary that Sissoko had a good influence on the dressing room, and then I see him play this season, that makes me worry. I think he's better off somewhere else. Winks, who else? Sanchez needs to go. Lloris, I think, is going to move on. Kane, either he's going to want to beat Alan Shearer's record, or he's going to want to go elsewhere and win trophies, and that would be a massive shame, because if he does leave and Son leaves and stuff like that, we are going to be in quicksand. Like
Doherty. Have you mentioned Doherty yet?
Yeah. Okay, that's the thing I was trying to block out in my mind. I don't understand how, because he's been so piss poor, why Jose favours him more than Aurier. Like, I think the weird thing is, like, I think Aurier has some sort of traumatic thing going on in his mind from last season to do with injuries, because Aurier got injured, but he's clearly the more skillful out of him and Doherty. But he's the one that's played less now after his injury, which is, I think you shouldn't have a manager that is too scared to let people play, but is also a hypocrite in the same place, where he'll prefer to play a tired Kane over Carlos Vinicius, who is perfectly suited to play in that sort of game. It was. And the problem is, like, a lot of people say, well, it's obviously not the manager, because Poch started, like, falling out of the dressing room and stuff like that. But just because it's two managers doesn't mean that there is no more suited manager. I mean, because I think Poch had his own sort of errors as well. He was a good manager among the top of it, but I think there just came a point where he was no longer suited to work with the team, and it showed. Just destroying Lucas Moura's run in that final by just starting with Kane, who had just come back from injury. A manager like that, I just don't understand the sort of. We need a manager
mentality,
who has a bit of empathy. That sort of knows how the players can think and knows how to motivate players, not how they have seen it go on, like, in the start of their career, but how they see things now. And that is
it was eventually, I've always felt like it would come to this with Mourinho, in charge, because he lacks so much empathy for his own team.
You see, yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
I think in the Spurs documentary, you see him causing a rift between players, like he was encouraging some tension to build up between Dyer and Son. And that is the other thing as well. That was the other point for the game. Why would you start Sanchez and Dyer together? They have both been shown to be inconsistent. Get a leader like Toby on there.
Yeah.
And that excuse of we want to give everybody a fair chance by not re-registering other players that are totally fit to play in the league that we've signed afterwards. Like that's just bullshit to me. Okay, other teams are going to re-register teams, so it's only fair. There's no unfairness about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I think.
That's what you think. Have you felt better now?
No.
No.
It's like a cactus up my ass. It hurts to take it out, but I want to take it out.
All right. So shall we go on to listen to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want me to do yours first?
Yeah, if you like.
All right. So, I think this has been well anticipated since their previous album, Disease. And for people who like that album and know what band I'm talking about, it is the mighty Beartooth. I gotta say, right off the top of my head, this is, without doubt, such a solid track to preview the new album. Like, you just can't... I don't think they could have released anything else, and this is just... It just punches you right in the guts. That's how good it is for me. And if you like, some of their earlier stuff of Aggressive, I think this song will mix a lot of that into the mix as well. So it's not just a straight up hard rock or post hardcore style song. It's got elements of that, and just those punchy rhythm riffs. So. Listen for yourself. Have you got a queued up?
Yeah, I'm a very big fan of Beartooth, particularly Disgusting. I think that made my way into my top 100 albums, I believe. Yeah, Caleb Shoma is one of these guys who's just got such a presence about him. And I know he's presumably he's done all the instruments on this song as well. Because Beartooth's essentially a solo project in band form, but live, obviously, he has band members and everything. But I believe he's recorded every album entirely by himself.
Now that is impressive. I didn't actually know that.
Which is quite impressive indeed. We saw them at Download 2018, was it? 19?
19.
I think it was 19. 19. That was
my
a hell
feet
of a
were killing me.
Well. Yeah, that was a hell of a performance as well. And I believe they were one of the last bands that Rosie Droid saw live before everything hit the fan. But they're clearly on their way to the kind of top, I would say, at this stage.
Sorry, just to interject a second, I forgot to mention that I am seeing Architects next St. David's Day. So I asked them on Twitter if they were going to bring daffodils with them, and they haven't replied yet.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I did. I would have reminded you about that, but never mind. And just in general, Beartooth, a really good band. I love their amalgamation of kind of post-hardcore and sort of breakdowns and really melodic, soaring choruses. So if it's anything like that, this song, then I'm hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah, they go for like the more aggressive approach, but you can hear.
Interesting.
So
all right.
After go after three. On go after three. 1, 2, 3, go.
Good start.
See, it's got some of those licks as well.
Yeah. Whoa.
good bit.
There's something in the water, it washed away my pain. I lost all of my power, there's nothing left to gain. It's the energy.
This is going to be such an anthemic song live.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like this riff so far, and the drums as well, actually. Yeah, good chorus, good hook.
Yeah, I think that's the strength.
Yeah,
That's the strength that Beartooth has for me, is that catchiness to go with just kick-ass riffs.
Devastation will
yes, there we go. Very kind of, seems weird to say, it's kind of almost got a dinosaur pile-up thing going on with this kind of the bends
I can see what you mean, yeah.
at the end of the riff, you know? Like thrash metal cassette.
I would actually love to do a cover of this song. I think this would be
Yeah, I
a
can
very...
see you doing this. Yeah, so that kind of bendy bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just love that this song, like, for what it is, it just pulls no punches whatsoever. It's just fantastic.
No, definitely. It's full on, isn't it?
It's very full on. Let me just see if I can get anything up for, anything to do with the song.
While I say my full, I mean, you know, it's Beartooth. And if you like Beartooth, you'll like that song, you know what I mean? And I really like Beartooth, so there we go. I mean,
What did you
nothing much more I can say about that, really. You know, I like the fact that it's kind of a bit heavier than some of the tracks from Disease. You know,
Yeah.
Disease was a kind of a lot more pop punk sort of orientated, which I did like still.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good album. And
I think this one kind of it's a good amalgamation of like all of their career so far, really, into one track, you know.
Yeah. So
you had the kind of heart-wrenchingly sort of you know, screamy sort of stuff from Disgusting, and then you have the kind of full-bore riffage of Aggressive, and then the pop punk chorus of Disease, really. I think that's, can't really say fairer than all of that, you know.
Yeah, it's like Caleb is, you can hear like the, not necessarily angst, also the aggression in his voice, which
angst is a good word, though. I like that's kind of a good way to
the aggression, and he just pulls it off so well. And you know, he's got such a nice timbre to his voice as well to back it up. It's not like thin. It's not, you know, too bassy like this. It's somewhere a nice happy medium to it. And
I mean, it's kind of it screams almost are a bit, you know, misanthropic a little bit, a bit kind of have a lot of anguish and torture.
Yeah,
you know?
I am growing to love that sort of screaming more and more. Like, you know, I think it's a very underrated kind of style of screaming.
Well, it's very unique. You know, if you hear a Beartooth song and you hear his style of screaming and singing, you know it's by them instantly. You know,
yeah,
it's one of those things.
like a lot of people go to like one of the death metal vocalists for like, best metal vocalist, but I would go to someone like Sam Carter because, or even Caleb. I think he's fantastic, and you can just do so much with his voice. But anyway, so Devastation arrives with very little in the way of extra information, but on Twitter they describe it as a little something to hold you over. So that's pretty much all they've said so far. So I think in terms of albums coming up, I haven't seen. I think it's just a standalone single at the moment, but I could be wrong.
Well, I'd say,
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's just a
definitely-
standalone single. They haven't announced any album yet.
Right. Well, if they do release an album, I mean, I'll very much look forward to any release that Beartooth come out with nowadays. Yeah, it's a slow burn for me, but and Disgusting, I think, will always be the one for me personally.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed. I really like their last album, and I always quite like them live as well.
Yeah.
And the energy they bring,
Yeah.
it's always great.
Mhm.
So yeah, good stuff.
Brilliant. There it is.
Oh right, my song for you, KB.
Right. Let's go.
Okay, so this band I only really discovered via New Music Saturday, really. And I got to thank Bees again for this because he consistently brings out and showcases artists that need to be showcased. This band, Social Contract, I really don't know much about them at all. They've only got 792 followers on their Facebook, and that's where basically the bulk of the information about them lies. But this is from their new EP called Buzzard's Wake, and it's on Panther Burn Records. And this band was formed in 2017 when each of its members coalesced in London after each moving from the Midlands, North and South England, respectively. Expansive post-rock, post-punk psychedelia and a pinch of metal make up the band's ever-growing sound. And that is literally the most I can find about them,
All right, fair enough.
So if you go into this song and then maybe just give your feelings about the kind of style that they implement and what sort of it reminds you of,
Yeah.
I guess. It's the best way to go about it, really. But yeah, like I said, this is from their Buzzard's Wake EP. Oh, yes, there we go. It was produced by Neil Kennedy, this album. So no wonder I like it so much. He produced Creeper, Milk Teeth, Nervous, Puppy, Boston Manor, etc., etc.
Okay.
So it's like, hopefully, these lot will be touring with my boys or something, as far as that connection goes. Because Neil Kennedy did produce Puppy's debut album, The Goat, and also worked with Creeper a lot. I think he might have produced Creeper's debut album as well.
Okay.
And he's also produced this. This song is called The Floor.
Right,
And
okay.
it's, the EP came out on... When did it come out? Let me just bear with me. Came out on March 12th.
Mm-hmm. So I can see the EP. It's got two short songs, Lock 24 and Praying Stone, but then it's also got Waterside Muse, The Floor, and Buzzard's Wake on it.
Buzzard's Wake, yeah, and which seems to be the longest one. And I haven't actually checked out the whole EP yet, but I do know that this song is brilliant. It's called The Floor. Have you got it queued up yet?
I have, yeah.
Cool. Right. So on go then. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I can hear some Avril Lavigne in here.
Really?
I'm joking.
I'm sure they'd take that as a compliment.
So much for my happy ending. Oh, I like his voice.
Very excerptsy, isn't it? I don't know if you picked up on that, but I was instantly reminded of the excerpts in his delivery. that background ethereal guitar. I'm such a
Yeah.
sucker for it. You know?
Like you hear it in stuff like Svalbard and you know, Alcest. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But obviously, it's got more of a kind of indie sensibility to it.
Yeah. Yes, it meets the floor.
Almost think that, you know, Black Foxes could tour with this lot, you know? Kind of reminds me of that kind of style of indie rock.
Or Holding Absence.
Holding Absence.
If they do a headline tour. Which would probably be inevitable, considering they got a new album out coming soon.
Let's hope so, yeah. Oh, see that bend there? That is like a quintessential 90s alternative guitar bend.
It's giving me like Everlong vibes, you know?
Yeah. That's an interesting chat. That sucker for any time any band does that. Bands need to do more of that kind of stuff.
Just really be creative with it, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. And that kind of lilting vocal line that you hear in a sec.
I mean, you don't need like total technicality, technical riffs and solos to make a great song.
You know, it's a very interesting kind of vocal lilt that he's got there as well.
I might hijack the Metro's playlist to put this song on there.
I'm hoping the rest of the EP is going to be like this, more or less, you know.
Yeah.
I just haven't had the time to listen to it because I've been just so bombarded with stuff. It's only 19 minutes long, the EP.
I'm gonna add it to my liked playlist. There we go.
And that subtle ooh in the background as well.
Ooh, we're misses.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Love that.
Ooh, I love Cheerios.
Fucking hell. What is wrong with you? Try and take this seriously.
If you knew that, you would have answered that a few years ago.
No, I know. Love. It's so unique, you know. Just the way he kind of drops it at the end. Very kind of slackery, but very cool. Then,
Yeah, definitely like the color and shape kind of vibes.
yeah, in comes the riffage as well.
Ooh.
And then as Bees put it at the very end, a malfunctioning Tom Morello, which I think is quite an apt description for that. But yeah, that was The Floor by Social Contract from their EP Buzzard's Wake, which came out on March 12th.
Sounds
What
like
do you think, Kebby?
Yeah, like that last bit sounds like if they replaced Tom Morello with Lil Wayne in Rage Against the Machine.
Oh.
No, but all
I'm
jokes
trying
aside,
to get something positive out of that. Yeah, go on.
all jokes aside, no, it was a nice addition to it, and like if it's deliberate, and it is, then that fits it really well. But yeah, the song, I love the sort of the late 90s vibes that you get from it. I think the guy had some great attitude on the vocals, and I think that added a lot to the song.
Yeah, it's a bit of swagger in it as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's got all the elements I love, I think, in the tune. You know, it had the etherealness, it had the kind of the sort of bends and interesting experimentation with the guitar riffs.
Mm-hmm.
It had those very subtle harmonies and backing vocals. It had a kind of a very indie kind of vocal delivery, very almost slackery and almost wispy kind of delivery to it.
Mhm.
It's everything I like in a song, really. And I'm very sad that it's only got like it's not even in triple figures yet
Mm.
on their YouTube channel. I think it's only got like 49 views or something. I'm not even
sucks.
I'm
That's-
not even sure. I'm not even sure how many listens it's got on Spotify or anything. But you can rest assured it's not nearly enough. I've been trying to peddle this band for the past week or so to my Facebook followers. So I'm hoping that this lot get more exposure for sure, because I definitely think they're doing something quite idiosyncratic. But also enjoyable to listen to. So yeah, Social Contract. Kudos to you, mate.
Fantastic. Hope you get more views, and we'll do as much as we can to make sure that happens, even if we have to pin people up against a wall.
Right then. Are we calling it there then? Do you think? Or,
I think so. Yeah, we still haven't.
yeah.
We still haven't got a daft debates up. So
No. One that I think maybe we should alter the format of it, because we find ourselves agreeing on a lot of topics. Hence the reason why we're friends. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know
And
what
I
you
have to
mean.
pretend to disagree with review on.
I think ever since the Would You Rather kind of like, we just did loads of them, and we kept struggling to find more. I think trying to form a new one. So I think maybe we can leave something up to the viewers as well.
I could always we could either pose it to as a question to like your Discord maybe.
Yeah.
Or we could I could just find a whole bunch, like entirely new website of Would You Rather questions,
Something like that. Like scenes from a hat sort of segment, or just something that is a game to finish off with.
Scenes from a hat. I love that. I'm a big fan of Who's Line as well. So.
Yeah. Either that or like BuzzFeed style quizzes, or I don't know, to say like, what is your which Metallica band member are you? That sort of thing.
Yeah, BuzzFeed. But okay, we will call it there then. Cheers everyone for tuning into episode 31 of the Key Art Podcast. This was a good one. I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I felt like I feel
short
like
and sweet,
Yeah, I feel like as I go through, I'm able to improvise a lot better and kind of work around things. And I think if you watch the first episode compared to now, you can probably see a big difference. But I'm too scared to watch the first one, to be honest. So.
I mean, how did you? I don't know if we started. Sorry for our late start today, but KB did have a house inspection. How did that go, by the way? Did it go all right?
Yeah, I did think like it was just going to be 5 minutes. They just look around, see if everything's okay, and then just go. And that was exactly what it was.
You figured out how to work the Dr. Rug machine or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah, that bloody thing. No, yeah, I think it was just like I was using it, and normally like in the videos and stuff, you see that it just perfectly scrubs up the dirt. But maybe because the dirt's been on our rug for quite a while, maybe it was struggling a bit more to sweep it up. So it's but I figured it out, and it took me about 3 hours to actually clean up that carpet. It was God. But
you got it done in the end. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and it's all good. But
right,
I hope I
KB.
don't have to pay 30 quid again to rent it for a day.
Yeah, indeed. KB, where can we find you, mate?
Right, so YouTube, Kieran Benji. Currently, my latest video is Fictional Mothers You Are Glad Are Not Yours. And
I saw that video. It was very good, by the way.
Thank you. And the upcoming video, which should be out tomorrow or Monday, I'll keep you updated, is my look at my Reddit reactions to the Gatekeeping subreddit, which I've been editing so far, and it's been quite interesting, to say the least. Then we've got my Twitter, which I've also linked to my Discord. Luckily, haven't added everyone in the Discord, so it's well within people's option if they want to see the tweets or not. Instagram, that's where probably more of the sponsored posts and just like usual gaming things, or well, just anything in general, photos and stuff come up. TikTok is just condensed videos and little skits here and there. Just another another thing to keep me busy. And Facebook, all under the same name, Kieran Benji, and as well as here. So, yeah, if you want to get 10% off on these shirts, again, feel more free to. There should be a post on my Instagram plugging it with a QR code to scan and
in fact, I can't believe we've actually got a real sponsor. That's mad.
yeah, it's like, I mean, it's not one that people have mainly heard of a lot, like G Fuel and stuff like that. But you gotta start somewhere, haven't you? You know,
Yeah,
in
of
terms
course, of course.
And it's
Absolutely.
a good practice
Very
before
great-
I open
very-
up my own T-shirt store, if I ever do so in the future.
Yeah,
which
very
I'd
grateful.
like to do.
Very grateful indeed for our sponsor this week. Yeah, so for me, Rob V93 on Twitch, and tomorrow I should be doing another artist retrospective if I have the time in between films and stuff. It might end up being I might end up overruling it depending if I have time or not. But I do every Sunday we do a subs choice thing for me where people can choose what I stream out of, like Scriblio, Among Us, Jackbox, other stuff. But I mainly do get song request streams where I play guitar to a list of about, I think I'm up to like about 400 songs in my list at the moment.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd like to apologize. Well, yeah, I'd like to apologize. I didn't have a stream yesterday, as I said in my Discord that I was trying to get some new game to work in terms of mods and stuff because it's not the same as using Nexus mods. And because I had to clean and stuff, I didn't want to like just stream for half an hour, so I rearranged it to Tuesday. So what I'm planning to do is that I've already mentioned it in the Discord, and that is Dark Souls 3 with the assault rifle mod and in first person to make it a first person shooter, which can be done. But I can't get the first person camera to work. It just doesn't seem to want to work in the cheat engine that is used. So, and I've tried everything, so it's kind of ruled out at this point. But I'll see if there's another mod that is there. For the taking to make it look authentic. So there is like another camera perspective which makes it look more like Resident Evil. So I may use that instead. So yeah. I think I just like to stream something different rather than just one game every week on a Friday. So just kind of change it up a little. It keeps me interested, and then I miss the game that I was streaming, and then I go back to it, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's that. So again, thank you guys.
Can I finish plugging my channels?
Yeah,
I only plug my Twitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, also Rob Very Hard Music on Facebook. Hopefully should have some stuff coming out very soon. Demos and it's not going to be professional or anything, but Rob V93 on Twitter. Rob Very Hard, all one word, VERYARD on Instagram. And screw it, I'll plug my YouTube channel as well. Why not? Just Rob Very Hard on YouTube.
Nice.
So yeah, that is it for episode 31.
Okay, cool.
Do you want to sign off then, KB, and then we'll go find someone to raid?
Yeah. So cheers, guys. Thank you. It's always good to have your chat in the feed, and that gives me the idea to put an actual chat overlay in the podcast as well, because I think it does add to the podcast, like when it goes up on YouTube and things like that as well. So I am going to do that hopefully for the next episode. But until then, thank you for watching, and lights out.
Hey.
Right
then. So it's going to be interesting now because we usually, obviously, we start at 2 p.m. usually.
Yeah.
This time around, we've got a whole new bunch of new people on.
Yeah, that's quite a thing, isn't it?
To raid. So on my list, we have Chris Davis from The Ghost Inside, and he's doing like a, I don't know what he's doing, like a music stream, I guess. He's got a guitar in his hand, so there you go. And I quite like The Ghost Inside. My mate Bird again, who's doing Dead by Daylight. We have Renegade 86 and Tobias the Giant, but I think we've raided all of them before, apart from Chris Davis from The Ghost Inside.
Raid Chris Davis then. I'm happy
cool
with that.
All righty then. So let's see. Chris Davis, TGI.
Because as you can see,
no, I don't know if I. Oh, did it work? It worked.
Yeah, it
Great.
worked. It worked.
Cool. All right. Cool. Well, thanks again, guys, for hanging out. Much appreciated. We'll I'll certainly see a lot of you on New Music Saturday this evening, where I'm hoping that Beartooth song is going to get another airing, along with other stuff that I need to catch up with.
I won't be available because I'm watching the Wales and France match.
Oh,
so
rugby.
So
Right.
I'm
Okay. There you go.
because it's on at 8. So
Cool.
And I'm good.
Please do give Chris Davis all the love in the world as well. He's been in Mosh Talks chat a few times himself, and he seems like a good lad. So yeah,
absolutely. All right, cheers, guys, and until next time.
All right, bye.
Bye. Just waiting for you to click it.
Oh no, no, you have to click it, don't you?
No, you were the one who initiated the raid, so you have to click it, don't you?
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh. Awkward. Right. Yeah, it didn't come up with that last time. Yeah,
Did it not?
I know. Professional streamers. Right. Bye. 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 Bye.